We are going to set up bounce handling in ACYMailing 6. I am in ACYMailing 6 in the configuration area on the Mail Settings tab, and I'm going to enter the bounce email address. Two things of note: you will need to set up this bounce email address in advance, and you will want it to be uniquely used for this function. Also, this is only available in the Enterprise Edition, so if you're using the free version, go upgrade now. So I created this email address in my cPanel, and I am going to save this configuration and move on to the next step. Next, in the configuration, we go to the Bounce Handling tab, and we need to go ahead and put in this information that's specific to the email we just made. Now, if you're in cPanel, like I am, that'll all be available to you right there. I'm going to go ahead and grab that information and fill it in. So here I am in my cPanel account, and I'm in the bounce at webbydesign.com email account, and I would go over here to connect devices. And here you can automatically set things up to work with your device, but I want to find the information that's available here for my servers and ports. And I have entered this information now. Let's see if it works. Okay, I'm at my email. I've made a new email called Bounce Test. I chose my template. I have my email ready to go. Isn't it beautiful? I have the recipients, and we'll talk about that here in 1 second, is the newsletter list. I am going to want it sent with the default information, and I will want it sent now. I highly advise sending a test email. I've already done that with a note that says test. And then at the end, I will click send. I wanted to go over my list though. I have 3 lists here. And in the newsletter list, I have 7 subscribers. So let's take a look at them. They would be users. I could sort them by lists and all sorts of things. But what I wanted to point out is that I have a mix of valid email addresses and bad email addresses to test this bounce test. And I have them on my own server, as well as a Gmail server and TDS, which is my internet service provider email. So I want to test a variety of good email addresses on different services, as well as bad email addresses on different services, so we can see what happens. So let's go ahead and send it. Click back over to the emails, and you see it says draft currently. Since I have not sent it yet, we'll click on it again. Since we've done all these other things, I'm just going to head back over to the summary. That gives me an idea of what it's going to look like. Be sent to 7. I'll be sending it now. I'm going to add it to the queue. If you do have the Enterprise Edition, you'll be able to use the queue. It says mine is not set, so I'll need to do that right now. If you just have the free version, you will need to send it all manually. So let's go ahead and set up the cron. And setting up the cron was as simple as clicking activate the cron. So it already has been sent to 7 recipients, and now let's see what happens next. So I do have the cron report sent to me that says all 7 of these were successfully sent. That doesn't mean they were received, it means they were sent to these addresses. So let's see what happens to those that were bad now. So here I am in the mailbox of bounce at webbydesign.com, and I can see that this first one here, it says webbydesignbad@tds.net. That's my bad address, and it gave me the message of does not exist here, so this is a bad email address, and I can choose to go ahead and remove that from my list. ACYMailing has some bounce handling rules that come pre-configured, and I have them set here as the default. So these can be changed, and as an example, out of the office, we'll do a certain task. feedback loop, unsubscribe the user. So like I say, these are just the default. So let's see what happens if I choose run bounce handling. And it says you can't do that. ACYMail. Let's go ahead and go back to the configuration. And since I am using this bounce handling, perhaps I need to have a Webby Design set up here in the mail settings to use SMTP. So let me fix that and see how that works. Okay, so let's see what happens now that I've changed it to an SMTP. Okay, and success. It was just a matter of getting the right configuration of the SMTP server. I clicked it, bounce handling, and there are 6 messages, and it told me the action that it did, which deleted the message, and we're all done.